So it's dark, gray, wet, and just cold outside. You probably do not want to leave the house. Well, guess what? Imagine I'm gonna tell you, you still need to wear sunscreen. You probably are thinking, have you lost your mind? It's completely dark, nothing is happening, the sun is not even really shining. Why the heck would I wear sunscreen? Well, this video is exactly about that. I want to share with you why you need to wear sunscreen, and I'm gonna also share with you my favorite ones for the winter. So stay tuned. If you are still inside, regardless of it being sunny or not, and it's light outside, so it's maybe gray, but it's still kind of like not super dark, trust me, UV rays are going through that. You need to protect yourself because 80 to 90% of your premature aging of stuff you do not want is caused by the sun. Look at this lady. She was wearing sunscreen her entire life but neglected her neck. And well, this is the result. This is why I am still wearing sunscreen. Or this truck driver. He was exposed to the sun half of the way while driving a car. And obviously, look at what it did to his skin. And this still happens while being inside, next to a window or something, because there are two types of important UV rays you need to know. And a very simple hack to remember there's one thing which is called UVA and the other is called UVB. I just remember it like that. It doesn't stand for it, but it's basically UVA, you can remember, stands for aging, and UVB stands for burning. And UVB rays are mostly there when the sun is properly shining and you feel like you're getting a tan. It's basically when the sun hits your skin and then you get this reaction, where it's actually not a healthy reaction of getting a tan. It's literally your skin protecting itself of the harmful UV rays, in fact of these UVB rays, and gets darker. And then you have on the other side the UVA rays. They penetrate through glass, through anything like this. They're invisible and they are around in the winter as well. And these ones are going really deep into the skin and are penetrating all the layers below and causing all that stuff we do not want, from premature aging such as wrinkles, dark circles under the eyes, hyperpigmentation, dryness, loss of collagen. So basically, if you are a skincare fanatic and you love to put on your masks or your skincare ingredients without using SPF, you can literally throw everything into the bin. If you are around snow, then especially there, you should not forget your sunscreen. So make sure if you're skiing, if you're around snow, this reflects even more and you need to use sunscreen especially. Now let's get onto my favorite sunscreens and see what I can recommend you depending on your skin type and what you can use throughout the winter. So let's start with this one from Alta MD. It's actually one of my all-time favorites. It's basically almost empty. Yes. I mean, this is how it looks. It's basically tinted. It has a protection of 41 and it is a mineral sunscreen. I even use it sometimes on top of another sunscreen because it has such an amazing finish. And I would recommend to use this one in case you have more normal to oily skin, because once this is dried, it leaves like a matte finish. And if you have already like very dry skin, then I would not recommend this one for you because it will even like enhance the dryness more. But if you're more on the oily side or you used an oil before, this is perfect because this really gives you like this even glow. Let's get onto the next sunscreen I really love. It's by Beauty of Joseon. As you can see, I'm already basically completely finished this one. And this is an SPF 50 PA+++. It has a really good protection. Again, on the side note, make sure all your sunscreens protecting you against UVA and UVB rays. So look into broad spectrum protection. But everything I'm showing you today is basically that. I would not use a product which is just protecting me against one type of sun rays, right? It is basically colorless and really is amazing on the skin because it gives you also a certain hydration. It has rice and probiotics in it, and this is on days where I feel like my skin needs a little bit of more hydration. So this sunscreen is amazing for people who are a little bit more on the drier side. It really works well into the skin, and you can use it as an amazing base for your upcoming makeup. So this one will not only not break your bank account, but also will not break you out. I love this one, and I can recommend this for everyone who is a little bit more on the drier side. Let's get onto the fourth sunscreen I love to use on regular basis, which is this one. It's the Biore UV. It's a classic one, which you've probably seen a lot on my Shop My Shelf, which you can check out here, where I recommend some products which I use on regular basis. I've tried and tested them all, otherwise they would not be on there. And yeah, this is also an SPF 50+++, and this one has a very watery consistency. On the first base, it looks white, but once you are working it into your skin, it becomes sheer very, very quickly and has almost like this watery touch. So for anyone who doesn't want to feel like a thicker layer on their skin, this is the perfect sunscreen. I also recommend it to a lot of like my male friends who absolutely usually do not want to use any skincare product, and I try to convince them to at least use sunscreen. This is the one I recommend because it just feels like nothing on the skin. But if you are having more dry and irritated skin, then I would not use this one in particular, because while it works well and penetrates pretty quickly into your skin and leaves like no residue, so to speak, this is due to the alcohol in there. So it really can also dry your skin a little bit out if you are prone to that. I have no problem with that. I'm using this all the time. I actually love to use it more on hotter climates and humid climates. You do not want to have any oily residue on your skin because you're sweating anyway. So this is amazing for that. And then last but not least, this is my newest discovery. It's the sunscreen by a brand called Go-To, and it's the Nifty 50. It's an SPF 50. Has antioxidants in there. When you apply it onto your skin, it has a little tint to it, so it's not completely white, and the consistency is a little bit thicker. It works well into the skin, but I would recommend this one for everyone who's more on the drier side and wants a little more protection in winter. So this is really amazing if you feel like you're outside, your skin is cold and dry. Go for this one, because this will not only protect you from the sun and from the UV rays, but also gives you like a little bit protection against pollution with their antioxidants. So this is an amazing way to protect you from pollution and sun exposure. And why I'm already like rubbing this into my hand, a little tip: when you're applying sunscreen in winter or generally, do not forget your precious under eyes, because oftentimes the most asked question is, why do I have under eye circles? Your thin skin around the eyes is just exposed to the outside world and just gets over pigmented. And then another thing, never forget your hands, because they're exposed to all kinds of like wind and sun and all kinds of weather conditions. And they literally show your age the fastest, because we often neglect our hands. So never forget that. And with that being said, I hope I can convince you to use sunscreen on a regular. The only thing I have to also to add is that when you use sunscreen on a regular basis, especially in winter, do not forget also to be exposed at least a little bit, maximum 10 to 15 minutes in the sun without anything, because you want to still produce vitamin D. I can't wait to see you next week. And if you like what you've seen, please subscribe to this channel. This means the world to me. And if you're interested in facial exercises and massages, make sure to check out All You Can Face. I can't wait to see you in the program and enhance your beauty even more without using any products, but only your hands. I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. Till then, mwah.